All right, so I had an issue when I was trying to do the throttle body sync on my XSR900. I made a silly mistake and I dropped the fuel tank while everything was connected. And what happened was, and I'll point it out here, this is the fuel line. And what happened was when this tank toppled over, this broke the nipple that's kind of behind this thing right here. This broke off of the fuel pump. And thankfully, this electronic connection just pulled straight out. But what happened was this broke and I had to buy a new pump, but I actually found a way to not have to spend $400 on a brand new pump, because the only thing was broken was just this nipple right here. All right, well, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I was able to get this off with my thumb while holding this down, and these two were already kind of popped up. So what we're gonna do is do this, this is ready to go. Trick is to kind of hold it. You just gotta be super careful because it's plastic. There we go. I made that sound way easier than it actually was. When I did it on the other pump, it came right off, but that's probably because, I don't know. Anyways, be sure to disconnect these. And these you can actually, if you got enough finger strength, I don't have it right now because I just messed with this. You can pull these right out. Cap comes off. And there's your fuel pump. So if you're make a mistake like me and drop your fuel tank, and this is actually a common problem for these motorcycles, is that people will take the tank off and they lean it against something, or like me, I strap it to the ceiling and it falls off while I'm trying to work on it. These pop off. So I would not recommend trying to hot glue this or JB weld or anything like that, because you're getting pressurized fuel. Maybe it's not a whole lot of pressure, but you got fuel coming out into your engine. And if this fixture breaks, and we saw on my motorcycle where it sits, it's right underneath the gas tank, you don't want fire coming up between your legs and having to jump off the motorcycle. So I'll link the description where I got this part. And again, just don't try to fix this. It's not worth it. I've seen people try to weld stuff or put some kind of fuel hose or whatever. It's not going to work. It's a temporary fix, but not the best thing. So now that I've taken it apart, this is what happened. When I got the new cap, I just went ahead and put it on my fuel pump. And the thing is, when I took my fuel pump assembly apart, I did see this and I noted to myself that I needed to address this, but because it took a couple of days for the fuel pump to arrive, I kind of just put this project off and I forgot to do this. So what happened was I went to go put this on. That O-ring's supposed to be right there, properly seated as I showed earlier. But what happened was I literally just went to do this, and I'm not going to go all the way because I don't want to pull this apart again. And I put it together. But what happened was, excuse me, this wasn't seating and going all the way down properly. Let's pull this out again. And I remember I showed you there's a hole in here, and I will put my little pointer down there. And I kind of figured I had an issue, because when I went to go put the fuel tank back together, and now the fuel tank let's pretend this is in the fuel tank. When I went to go put this upside down, fuel, where this used to be, fuel was just coming out on its own, which isn't supposed to happen, because when you disconnect your fuel tank, if you ever had to take your fuel tank off the motorcycle and it has an electronic fuel pump like this, a little fuel will come out, but it isn't supposed to be continuously pouring out. And that's what was happening. And I did notice that. And I thought, okay, that's an issue. But I didn't really think much of it. And I went to go start the motorcycle and it wasn't turning on. And I had all these issues. So pulled it apart. I found that that was sitting not properly in there. So literally just taking this O-ring. I'll just show it again. Because it's the little things like this that you probably won't think of as causing a big issue. That or electronics. There we go. I'm not going to click it all the way on just so I can keep this. But that's what you were supposed to do. Of course, wire everything up, put it in the gas tank, get it sealed. But that was the issue. I'll show you how to put it back together. It's going to go on like so. I'm trying to look around my phone here to record this. And make sure these cables are down. And then we're going to take this piece out. And just grab a tool real quick to fish that out. Sorry, I should have done this first. I kind of skipped over this. And I'm just going to walk it down. I'm not stabbing this. I'm just using the flat part of my tool right here to kind of just press that down to make sure it's in there and sealed properly. Now we're going to put it together. And then make sure there's a wire in here. Make sure nothing's getting crimped. I'll show you that again. See how it kind of passes through the other side here and goes in between? I'm just going to hold that down. And I can feel that rubber O-ring seating properly because it's giving some resistance going down, a good proper resistance. And then this is just going to slide down. And then I'm just going to click like that. And then these are just quick fit, or however you want to say. I believe the way this went was the blue one went right here. And it's just going to snap. And I'm just going to pull on it to make sure it's not going to come out. This one went right here. And then we're going to skip the middle one. And I think it was, let's see. You can easily look up a picture of these and know if I'm doing this incorrectly or not. But I believe the red one actually went right here. And then the black one went right here. Red and black for the fuel gauge went to this side. Then the pump and the other thing went to this side.